A lot of attention in terms of retro basketball shoes this month has been placed on the Kobe 6 Protro Reverse Grinch, and deservedly so. It is a Kobe shoe. He is one of the greatest. But actually on the same day that the Grinch colorway first released, not the Reverse Grinch, the original Grinch colorway in 2010, we also saw Kevin Durant then with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He came out with his own Christmas colorway and he dropped 44 points in that NBA Christmas game. And on December 19th, it's making a comeback. KD3 Vibrant Yellow, aka Christmas. So on Christmas Day in 2010, Nike went all out. Kobe had his Christmas colorway, LeBron had his Christmas colorway, and KD as well. And this one, I can only recall watching the Lakers and the Heat on that Christmas Day. I believe they played the Heat. I don't remember watching Kevin Durant dropping 44 points, but I'm sure it would have been fun to watch. And talk about a fun team. That was the year before they made the NBA Finals. The one season before they made the Finals and lost to the Heat. Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, James Harden. Controversial opinion. As much as I like KD, there's something about Russell Westbrook. I've always been a Westbrook diehard fan, so out of the two, I know one doesn't always contribute the most to winning, but I would have taken Westbrook if I had to choose one player out of those two to watch. That's it. It is what it is. Now the shoe is dropping on December 19th for $130. It is the first time that the KD3 Christmas, or Vibrant Yellow officially, has retroed since it first debuted in 2010. And right off the bat, the yellow is obviously super loud. I do like the blue with the yellow. Very loud. I probably wouldn't wear this casually or it'd be hard to pull off, but the KD3 in my opinion is probably my favorite Kevin Durant shoe. I think it's one of the KD shoes that crosses over into like casual wear pretty easily, but the colorway, it's like a traffic light. And the upper sole of this shoe, it is primarily synthetic leather, and the way you can tell is it literally has a sticker that says upper contains synthetic leather on the insole of the shoe. The parts on the lateral side as well as the medial side of the shoe that has that kind of patent leather glossy type of finish, and the rest of the shoe doesn't actually feel like that shiny type of patent leather material. So even on images, the shoe might look pretty shiny. There is a slight difference between the mid panel as well as the rest of the shoe, like on the toe box. And the upper sole, it is actually reflective. So on the toe box area, as well as the overlays around the ankle collar, that is reflective. So in combination with the patent leather on the panels of the shoe, it's just a very shiny looking shoe. And on the forefoot area, you'll see the Flywire cables. Now, Flywire is a material that's meant to be super lightweight and also provides more stability and support. So back in 2008, I believe it was 2008, Nike introduced Flywire to the world. It was huge news back then. I remember the Hyperdunks were one of the shoes that used Flywire, and it was just like a huge thing. Now, especially on shoes with like synthetic leather, doesn't really make much of a difference in my opinion. I don't really care if it was Flywire or not, but obviously this is a retro of an older shoe, so it's sticking true to what the original KD3s had. And the most unique thing about the KD3 is actually this flap that you see that's held together by the laces. And inside, when you undo the laces, you'll actually see the words designed and engineered to the exact specification of Kevin Durant. Now this flap is actually meant to secure the midfoot area, so it provides more lockdown and stability for the shoe. So you see the extra eyelets, you can use the bottom eyelets, so it's just an extra touch. It's a cool little feature. And the booty of the KD3 is by far my favorite thing about the KD3. This is meant to resemble a gaming controller, and you'll see KD35 in a diamond shape. So there you go. On some KDs, obviously they switch it up a little bit, like on the Aunt Pearls. It does not have the same exact pattern, but general release KD3s comes with that gaming controller design. And the tongue of the shoe, it is also pretty unique. So the D in the KD is actually a hole, kind of like the Jordan 6s where you have the two holes on the tongue. Not sure if I love that, but it's a cool little feature. Again, not all KD3s have that hole. Using the Aunt Pearls as an example again, that has a tongue that doesn't have that hole. And the tongue of the shoe, you'll see that mesh netting, and under it, I think it's just like the Kobe 6 Reverse Grinch that we just saw. It uses that type of tongue that's padded with foam, so when you tighten up the laces, it doesn't actually like hurt your feet. And the KD3s uses a Phylon midsole with a Nike Zoom Air unit on the forefoot, none in the heel. And the Phylon midsole, after reviewing the Kobe 6 Protros recently, just comparing it like one after the other, I do actually prefer this kind of setup. So a Phylon midsole with Zoom Air. However, I do wish they had Zoom Air on the heel as well. Pretty much exactly the same as the Huarache 2K4s. The Phylon midsole is slightly less responsive, I guess, or less bouncy than the Cushlon that's used on the Kobe 6 Pro Tros, and I do prefer that, especially when I'm playing ball on them. And the traction of the shoe, just looking at the traction, you can tell it's good. When I walk on hardwood floors, you can feel and hear like the stickiness of the traction, and too much of that is not always the best because you feel like your motion's almost kind of obstructed. But this shoe, the KD3, the traction is close to perfect. And then a little cutout, you'll see the KD logo as well as Nike Zoom, in case you forgot what type of cushioning this shoe has. And unlike the Kobe 6s, it does not have that dual layer memory foam insole, just the generic insole with KD's logo screen printed on top. Now this shoe doesn't come with any extra laces. They kept it just majority yellow, doesn't give us any options. I really think it would have popped with that blue or even that little orangey type of color right in the hole of this D on the tongue. I think that would have looked pretty cool as well. Or actually the orange outline on the swoosh. I don't know why I went for the hole, but that color, I think as extra laces, that would have looked pretty nice as well. Box of the shoe, a black KD box, nothing too special. His signature on the side, and I swear, for some reason, all the greatest basketball players have really cool signatures. Kobe, MJ, Kevin Durant. I swear they must get like private training to like really hone in the signature, because that looks nice. I like that. And now moving on to sizing and comfort. I do have wide feet. For KD3s, I go true to size, and it pretty much fits me perfectly. Lengthwise, there's not a whole lot of wiggle room. If I'm playing ball with them, I definitely don't want that extra space. And widthwise, even though it does look like a pretty slender or narrower silhouette, it actually fits my wide feet pretty well. So if you do have wide feet, I recommend just sticking true to size. In terms of comfort and the cushioning, this shoe is super light. The cushioning, I do like Phylon with Zoom Air. That is maybe slightly stiffer or less responsive or bouncier than kind of modern day basketball shoes, but it's just something I prefer. So if you like Zoom Air and if you like the Phylon midsole setup, kind of like the, off the top of my head, like a Jordan 12, if you like that type of setup, I think you'll like the cushioning on this shoe as well. It doesn't have the Zoom Air on the heel, but overall, it's a very similar setup. There's really not much to complain about in terms of comfort. I think in terms of performance, the shoe still holds up in 2023. And that brings the total sole score of the KD3 Vibrant Yellow, aka Christmas, to 28 out of 40. Now I do have to say, usually I review like older or casual shoes and not exactly performance shoes, so the sole score might not translate as well over to like a performance driven shoe. So take the sole score with a grain of salt, but in terms of colorway, I like it. I probably don't love it. It's a little too loud for me, a little too yellow for me. I do like the blue and yellow combination, but I think there's a lot of other colorways that are better than this one. I do think with the KD3 Arm Pearl also releasing late this year, that colorway is obviously very beloved, and I think it's a better colorway, as well as the, what was that one called? That money colorway, I can't remember exact name of it, but I think that colorway is better than this one. Now in terms of materials, for $130, you can't expect too much. It's a synthetic upper sole with this glossy patent leather kind of mid panel. It's not my favorite materials, but the tech specs I do like, so some points there, but overall, yeah, it's not my favorite. I don't really care too much about Flywire, so that doesn't really matter to me. If you're a fan, that's fine, but overall in terms of materials, I think it's good, especially for $130, which compared to like a Kobe shoe that's nearly $200 or any Jordans, it's definitely pretty good value, but it's good, not great. Now in terms of comfort, this shoe fits my feet really well. In terms of the stability, the cushioning, it's all pretty good. Nothing much to complain about. I will say the tongue up the top is a little thinner than I would like. I would have liked a thicker padded tongue, but around the ankle collar with this soft kind of neoprene material, that feels pretty nice. It's well cushioned. Yeah, in terms of comfort, it's really good. In terms of versatility, I think the KD3 silhouette is actually one of the more versatile basketball shoes. It's still not as wearable as a lot of the early Jordans, probably not the Kobe's as well, but probably just a tier below that. In this silhouette, if you disregard the color, I think it's actually pretty good for casual use. But then you add the color in, and it's just very bright, very bold, very loud. If you're someone that likes to make a statement, maybe this is for you. But for casual use, this color, yeah, just being objective, there's a lot more versatile colorways than this one. I think this vibrant colorway, it is nice, it's different, it makes a statement, but it's not something that I would just grab and wear casually. If I'm playing ball on them, I think it's totally fine, it's super cool. But compared to this Arm Pearl colorway, not just because of the meaning behind it, just the overall look of this muted type of pink on this silhouette that I really like, it's just hard to beat. Just hard to beat. But I am a fan of the KD3 silhouette, and it does seem like in the new year, we're going to see a few more colorways brought back for the KD3. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sol Inclined. Let me know what you think of the KD3 Vibrant Yellow, aka Christmas. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.